What's up, everybody? Thanks for checking in with Callie. Please subscribe if you haven't. So I would say the Clippers definitely need to be careful with the situation that they're in now with Paul George. You know, him re-aggravating the injury, as you see here, re-aggravating the groin, and it continuously being a problem is actually hindering his performance a little bit. In regards to the Cleveland game specifically, he only scored about 17 points, and he really just, doesn't look right, of course. That groin injury, that's one of those type of injuries where, some players really never usually be right after it, or at least it takes a while. Or, some players try to play through it and it just gets worse over time to where it can hinder your season. And I feel like that's something that the Clippers might have to really pay attention to even more. Now, Ty Lue says he's doing okay, as you see here. He's doing fine. He's basically trying to play through it, because he's still a lethal shooter on the floor, and he's still a lethal type decoy on the floor, definitely, regardless of all. And that is true. But at the same time, remember, this year is about championship. It can't be about, just play through this injury and, keep playing through it. It'll be okay. No, you gotta let him take a seat if he needs to. They have other players on the team. Of course, they can't make up for what Paul George does, because Paul George is a top player on the team. But at the same time, they have other guys that they can plug in by committee to keep kind of keep it going a little bit to where they can maintain and, kind of keep it at that, instead of leaving Paul George out there and you're getting not even that much effort from him on defense, offense. And he is playing through it. I'll give him credit. And him and Kawhi has played through, a few injuries this year so far. And they haven't, complained any or missed a beat, which I'm definitely happy of that, because the media just definitely goes at the Clippers in the wrong way sometimes. But at the same time, you got to think long term. And long term, is this good for Paul George long term? Because like I said, if he re-aggravated it, that means it was already aggravated prior to the several games he's been playing. And now these last few games, he's been, averaging about 16 points a game, somewhere in there, not really, scoring the clip where he usually does. And, he'll have a breakout night here and there, because he could shoot so good. He could just get hot from the arc and just, let him fly. But at the same time, if he's not able to move as much and be as mobile as he usually is and get in and out, get to the basket and things like that as much, that means he's going to be less aggressive, and less aggressiveness can cause them to, lose some games, because, with him out there, defenses are, predicated on him and Kawhi, and without him scoring, it just makes it a little bit easier for teams to attack the Clippers in a different type way, rather than if you sit him out for a few games, let him get right, and then he come back, then you're right back on track of, getting things right where you need them to be. So, I mean, I understand that they want to keep afloat in the standings and try to get that number one seed. And that's definitely, something that I would like to see him do as well. And I definitely think they can still do that without Paul George. They could win some games without Paul George, maybe not all the games, because Paul George is a huge part of what they do, but they still have Kawhi on the floor, and you still got James Harden, and you still have a Russell Westbrook. So, I mean, with that being said, you got somebody in there, and maybe you could plug Russ in his spot, who knows, but you got somebody there who can who can generate some points. And, when the claw's on the floor, I mean, he could win damn near a lot of games by himself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have enough, players by committee to make up for Paul George, or at least maybe not make up for him, but kind of hold it down until he gets back. Because I'm telling you, if that groin injury is already at a re-aggravating stage, well, it's only one other stage after that. That means if it pops, or if it gets worse, he's going to be out for a substantial amount of time. And that's not what the Clippers need. The rhythm is going good. They got a lot of chemistry right now. So if he stayed out about 3-4 games, something like that, kind of like what Kawhi did about a month ago when he had that, shoulder injury or whatever he had. He was out about 4 games and he came back and he was good to go. So that's what I'm saying. Do the same thing with Paul George. You know what I'm saying? Don't leave him out there, because these guys playing the Clippers are really going to give them their best maximum effort. So they're going to bump them hard. They're going to try to, do everything they can to get an advantage over this team. And if teams know that you have a weakness, some players are going to try to exploit that. And that's, where injuries happen and long-term injuries happen. That's not what you want, especially with this team playing at the level they're playing right now. And, the way things are going for them overall. I mean, right now, arguably they're the best team in the NBA right now. So I mean, I understand losing him might, you could possibly lose a game or two, but you could just win them all too. Like I said, you still got Kawhi there, you still got James Harden there. You know what I'm saying? So you still got a lot of talent there, but I really wouldn't risk too much with Paul George, especially based upon his injury history. I definitely wouldn't risk much because it's like you don't want to risk and then lose out long term and getting this team where they need to be. And let's say it's one of those type of injuries where he never gets right in the season. Because as I said, when you re-aggravating it, you're just really making the situation a lot worse. So, I mean, get him the treatment that he needs, get him the rest that he needs because it's a long season still. And like I said, they're going to need him in the playoffs. And then it can't be no excuses this year. It just can't be. So, I mean, the excuses are gone. All that's gone. You got to find a way to be out there when it really counts. And that's, latter part of the year, playoffs. So whatever players need to do, they need to rest now. Let them do it. Don't sit there and try to let them keep playing through it. And I feel like that's something Ty Lue should be implementing. Hey, PG, sit out for a couple of games. Let us know how you feel a week from now. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. And get him the conditioning he needs so he can get back in rhythm because, like I said, they're going to need him in rhythm going against these other teams. And like I said, it would be tough for them to win without all their pieces there because they're built to be a championship team based off all 4-star players playing at their max. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, all of them need to be accountable. All of them need to be there, but all of them need to be healthy as well. So, I know the front office, want to keep things going the way it is, but honestly, I would shut them down for about a week, maybe even 2 weeks if that's what it takes. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it's no excuses this year. It's championship or bust.